I'm going to talk a little bit while I do my makeup. Oh my god. I'm doing my profile pictures today because I feel like, okay, I've gotten like 8,000 clicks on my link and about 40 people stayed. So I'm like, something's wrong. So I'm gonna try and redo my profile picture. So I transitioned from being an in-person worker, and like I was a dancer for like almost a decade, and now I do online content. So I'm gonna talk about how those are different, I guess. But yeah, so it is more different than I expected. Online work is a lot more different than I expected it would be. I really thought it would be super similar to the other industries I've been in. It's not. It's so different. It's more explicit. It's more like, I feel like in person, one of the things that was like really fun was like kind of like the tease, the draw out. With online, it feels like the total opposite. The more I draw something out, the more someone leaves. So I guess it's kind of like when you go to the club, you're there to have drinks, you're there to sit, you're there to like maybe waste time or something. But online work is like now, now, which is fine. I have really patient, awesome patrons that are explaining things to me and letting me take my time with stuff, which I'm so grateful for. But yeah, I don't know, it's interesting to do my own marketing. It's exhausting in the best way. Like, I feel like I just had to learn. I had such a big learning curve where I really wasn't on social media before this. So like, I just really never had to keep up with it. I never had to learn it. I never had to learn lighting, angles, and editing and all of that I have definitely had to learn for this so that I can market, you know? Something else that's so different that I really would not have expected is like scams online. I feel like are easier to detect. Maybe I've had more practice, I don't know. But in real life, it's like scary how hard sometimes it is to tell. Making sure it's not moldy. But like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, if a pimp walks in a club, you can't always tell they're a pimp, if that makes sense. But like online, you know, people would be like very obvious about it, right? So like, I can help you grow your business. It's gonna be 30%. Like, obviously no. But it's super interesting. Something I had to combat when I was an in-person worker was I would go through like dips where like, I guess like burnout would make it so that I started to kind of look down on people who came into the clubs, which obviously isn't great for business because people are smart and they can tell when you're not vibing with them. You know, I'm not that good of an actress. So it was interesting because I would have to like find specific people to like help me feel good about what I was doing. A lot of people made me feel bad about humans. But yeah, I think that's one of my hardest things I've had to deal with S work is like, I don't want the work I do to affect how I view humanity. I want to think very highly of humans and people and have this like hope that people want to be good and want to do good. So the opposite with that, with doing online work, I feel like it's very easy to not feel that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Every sale, every subscription I sell, I am so grateful. And there might be a time thing, like the very first day I started dancing, I made like my rent that night. I've been doing this for 6 months and I just made $1,000 like total. So the turnout has been very slow, but that's part of it, you know? But yeah, I feel more grateful, but I think it's also too, like, I have different experiences. Like, when I go, like, the club's kind of like the bar. When I go to the bar, I'm kind of like, don't talk to me. You know, like, that's my time or my girl time or something. But when I'm on my phone, like, I talk to my friends on my phone, like, things like that. So it feels like these people are really my friends. And I hope they feel the same. When I did in-person work, if people came in and they knew you, chances are you knew them and you could see them. We don't know who's subscribing. There's like anonymity, you know, like you can make whatever new username you want. So a lot of my first followers were like a lot of my first subscribers were actually people I knew in real life, and I didn't know it was them. And I don't mind, especially when we were like peers. I don't love that some of my bosses have come on there from old jobs, and I don't love that some of my dad's friends have been on there. That feels weird, but I don't know, it feels different on the phone versus like in person. Like in person, if one of my dad's friends came, like I'd be like, get out, you know? But I don't know, it's very interesting. I am also more motivated by like other people's judgment, I guess. I think we all are. But when I would like have a schedule for the club, I would like share it with people. So it felt pressure to like show up to work, show up looking my best. And I don't really feel that with social media, which is funny. Because sometimes I will like look at I'll like rewatch the video back and I won't like how my mouth looked or something, so I won't post it. But I'm trying to get better about that. I'm just like, I'm posting it anyways, it is so scary. But I forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely less strict with myself, which probably isn't a good thing. I should probably be more strict with myself with online content. I don't know. I like how doing online content means I have to watch online content. But it helps me see so many different bodies and so many different people. Where like the club is kind of like based on the club you go to, it's gonna change how people look, but it's not like the craziest amount of diversity, you know? But on online content, there's so much diversity, and I love that because it reminds me we're all just horny humans. I don't know, and I like that a lot more. I'm going for like a no makeup, glam, natural face, but skinny, but appealing, but myself, but also I want to feel desirable and worthy, but I don't want people to know I'm wearing makeup. And I want my face to be sculpted, but I don't want people to think I care about how my face looks, you know? But it's okay. I will also say that, like, I thought people were gonna be meaner than they were online. Genuinely. But I've only gotten like a little bit of hate. You know, like people saying I'm like a chipmunk or But I have jailhouse tattoos that would stung, not gonna lie. But I don't know, I really thought people were gonna like bully me. I was bullied like my whole life, you know? And like growing up, like people called me fat, and like people would wink at me, and like people would say they want to put a bag on my head, and like I was butterface this, and so stupid. People are meaner in real life. Nobody's been that mean to me on social media, which I'm so grateful for. And everyone's so supportive. Like at any given time, I have like 10 people who are liking every single thing I post, which isn't a lot, but in real life, like 10 friends is a lot of friends. So that's been really cool. Like feeling like more of a community than a job. Yeah, I think I'm my harshest critic. I think we all are. I do find that in person it's easier to be myself, like more authentic, you know? And on here it's like kind of hard to put yourself out there. But I'm trying. Looking at full nude clubs gave me a backbone that no one will understand how they do it. And in Austin, Texas, and Houston. It's a lot of people. Thousands of people. And I will just say, like, this kind of work is just not meant for everybody. Some people are really good at it, and some people aren't. And that's not a reflection of who you are. Some people are good at math. It doesn't make them better people, you know? I don't know. I'm not very good at being athletic. And I always wanted to be in this line of work when I was young. I mean, I played like housewife with my Barbies and stuff. Like Ken would go to work and come home and Barbie would be waiting for him, like that in its essence is sex work. You know? But I'd also play like one of my Barbies would be lonely and she would pay the other Barbies to hang out with her. My phone totally died, but here's like 8 hours later. Okay, going to bed.